what we're going to start off with is, this is the template. This is what I saved. That way I can just keep redoing it, which makes your life so much easier. Once you get the shape done once, you can just duplicate it. You can just duplicate, add different sayings, whatever. I don't think I mentioned that in the last video, but that's why I have these already up. I have a blank already saved. So to get that blank, what I do is I order the ornaments, and I'll put a link in the video. I ordered the, I believe they're like 3.15 inches. They're the round ornaments. I usually get the plastic. It's much easier to stuff, which I'll do another video on that, like how to stuff it and like, like the end process of these ornaments, like the actual labor, like putting them together. But right now for this video, I'm just going to do like how you make the template and how you print it off. Just for now. And then my next video, I'll add it soon, showing you how to stuff the ornaments and how I do it and what ribbon I use and everything. I'll have a link below, but I'll show you like how to tie them or what it looks like in general. You could also check out my Etsy shop to see what it looks like. But you can do different quotes. Like I have this quote, a lot of people like this quote, but I have done other quotes for other people. So you don't have to do this quote. You can buy something off of Etsy. I can leave some links, for some ideas of what people might like. But really it can be anything you want. You can even make up your own quote. I'm not so creative or good at putting quotes together, so not like that. So I just bought one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you're going to go to the shapes, grab a circle, and, it starts you off like 2 inches. And I get the 3.15, like I said, and I usually do about a 1/4 inch less. That way you can roll it up and fit it in there, which I'll show you how to do. But it's going to print off a projector paper that you're going to roll up and stuff it into the ornament. So in order to do that, it has to be a little bit smaller than the actual size of the ornament. Like I said, it's about 1/4 inch. So I do about like 2.9 for the size for the circle. Then you're going to need a square for the top part. And that square is usually like a little under a 1/4 inch. Obviously you can change this if you're buying different size ornaments, if you want to figure that out. This is just for mine because this is the size I buy. So if you don't want to figure that out, you could also do this. So I do a little under like a 1/4 inch or a 1/4 inch. That usually fits. And then what I do is I make sure that it's aligned. And then it's going to give you this shape. And like I said in the other video, I always try to make sure that it's a bright color because it's much easier for me to see. I always change it back afterwards. I put on the top, it's aligned. And then I'm going to, oh, I didn't mean to do that. And then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and combine them or weld them, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So there we go. We have our shape. Little square top with a circle. It makes an ornament shape. And then what we're going to do is you're going to go to your image that you bought or you made or whatever. Maybe you'll type it up and make it on hand because you're more talented than me. But you're going to have your little saying. And then you're going to take it, bring it to the front. You want it on top, of course, so you can read it. And then you just want to make it look good. You usually don't want to put it too close to the edge because then it might print off of this. It's not always like super accurate. But you do want to, have it in a nice spot, whatever works best for you. And the next part is you're going to want to grab your memorial image. of whoever. I'm using, sorry, I've been doing a lot of projects, as you can tell. Been making a lot of family projects. But anyways, I have my family. I have my great grandparents. And I'm going to add their image. And I'm going to go back. Wow, I am getting off track. Okay, so I'm going back to the canvas after I upload the image of whoever. Black and white is a little bit harder. Not gonna lie to you. If it's a color image, it's better. That you want to brighten up a color image. That's usually easier than black and white. Black and white's not as fun because usually if you use like the color images, you can take whatever font you're using and then you can like layer it on top of the photo that you're using. You know, it's easier to see, but if you're using like black font on top of a black and white photo, obviously you're not gonna be able to see it when it prints off. And it doesn't look very good. So anyways, you're gonna create like an oval shape. So you wanna unlock this to, you know, mess with the circle however you want. Usually I make this a little bit bigger for the moment so I can see what I'm doing. I can't see that well. Okay. And like I said, usually this is a solo, you know, this is usually a one-person thing. I mean, it depends, but I think it looks better with just one person if you want me to be honest. But they're kind of close together and I like this picture, so I'm gonna use it. So, you know, you just want to put them in oval. I think oval looks better for these round ornaments. And then you obviously want your font in the front so you can read it. But since it's black and white, I can't really overlap it with the font. So you can always adjust the font, make it smaller. So usually what I do, I kind of customize it depending on the picture, how big the picture is, how big I need it to be to maybe see it. Kind of work with it. And so there we go. Put it in a nice little spot. Okay. So there we have our picture and our saying and our ornament shape. And then what you can also do if you want to be extra, which I like to do it and a lot of people like it, is you want to put their names or name. You know, some people they'll put a date at the bottom. You know, 2023 or you know, they might put the date they passed away. Whatever they want to put, you can put that there. And I usually put it at the bottom, like center it, you know. Obviously do a better job than I am. But I'll take the name with the ornament shape and I will align it to the center. Just to read off at the bottom. And there you go, you can have like, you know, a little name or whatever you like at the bottom. Put that there. Usually it looks a lot better than what I'm doing right now, but I'm just kind of showing you the general idea of what to do. I realized I forgot to mention as I was doing this, so no one gets confused, is that you should change this back to white before you weld this. So before you weld this, you want to make sure you change it back to white. I only do the yellow just so I can see easier on this. But you really don't want yellow. It's probably not going to look right on project or paper. So just wanted to add that. Take everything that you just made once it looks ideal and how you want it to look, and you want to flatten it, because flatten means that it's going to be all together. Like there's going to be no cutting of the letters into your project. I've made that mistake before of not flattening it. It will just sit there and cut out your letters. So you want to flatten it. That way it's telling it, hey, you know, everything is printing. This is all printed out. This isn't something you cut. And then you're going to cut this shape. That's basically what you're telling the machines. That's why you want to make sure you flatten it. That's a very important step. So, okay. So really that's it. You can make multiples, obviously. You can sit here and duplicate this and knock a bunch out at once. Like if you're making a bunch of the same ornament for people. Like if you're giving it out at Christmas. That's what I've done before for family. And just sat there and duplicated shapes or duplicated what I just made. And there it makes your life so much easier. Because really you just have to do one and then just, copy it. Okay, so the last part is, the final part is for, the design part of all this is then you're going to make it. And then it's going to ask you where you want it at. If it looks good. Usually you can fit about, I think it's like 4 of these on here. Well, at least for the size that I'm using. You can use up about 4. And that project paper, the projector paper is a little bit more, so usually I try to fit as many as I can. And then you're going to send to printer. I use this one. I'll leave a link below. I love this one. Honestly, it wasn't that much. And it prints off just fine. Like, I've had professional printers before that cost way more. And this one works just fine. It looks great. One thing I will say is you do want to make sure it dries, because since it's going on projector paper, it's a little bit more slick. So it doesn't dry as quick. It's not a long time you have to let it dry. I would just say don't pick it up right away, to be honest with you, because then you'll smear it and it won't look so great or so like vivid. So yeah, you just want to print it and it's going to print off like a little square for you. You're going to stick it on your Cricut and then you are going to have the Cricut cut it out. So that's everything. If you need anything else, if you have any more questions, just leave a comment below. And like I said, I will add more videos, so make sure you subscribe.